Hi, I'm a girl who loves Supergirl, and I'm here to give you all the Easter eggs from Supergirl Episode 2, Stronger Together. Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson, and I'm going to tell you all of the good things about this episode of Supergirl Stronger Together. There are so many Daily Planet name drops, folks. They are all over the place in this episode. We get the Daily Planet mentioned several times, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Perry White. They are all over the place. Kat Grant has a long and storied history with the Daily Planet, and she's not terribly fond of them. She wants her media mogul, Kat Co, to take over all of that. It's a great, great way to build the world of Supergirl outside while telling you more about the characters who are inside the stories that we're watching from week to week. We learn more about Kat, we learn more about Jimmy, or James as he liked to be called in this incarnation, and we learn more about, most importantly, Kara, the one we're all here for. Plus, Mehcad Brooks, the actor who's playing James Olsen, really comes into his own in this episode. He does an excellent job. We have a really great sense of who he's going to be moving forward. He gets a sense of purpose beyond just, I'm the hotshot from Metropolis, and I'm here to help the cute girl who's the lead. So the Daily Planet stuff is really interesting, brings in a much richer world, and is some of the best information that we have in this episode. Now, I'm going to drop 3 of my favorite Easter eggs on you, because who doesn't love an Easter egg? They're delicious and fascinating. We have 3 super, can never have enough supers, interesting name drops of creators in this episode, Stronger Together. There is a building called Plastino Chemicals. Why is that interesting? Is that Plastic Man? No. Al Plastino is a prolific DC Comics writer and one of the creators of Supergirl. Title character, how great is that? Love that. Later on, when Winn and James, I always want to call him Jimmy. He wants to be called James. It's so tough. When Winn and James are listening to the police sirens and sending Supergirl off to save the day, they tell her that there's an accident at 5th and Siegel. Jerry Siegel is one of the original creators of Superman. You don't get Supergirl without Superman. Paying homage. I love it. Very respectful, but subtle. Really there for the fans who are looking. And lastly, we have another crime that is taking place on Donner Avenue. Now, if you don't know, Richard Donner, I don't know where you've been all this time. Richard Donner created Superman the movie. He brought Superman and the Superman family by extension to the big screen for all of us. He's an amazing man in the entertainment industry, and it's really nice that they're paying homage back to the first time the super characters found their way onto the screen. Those are my 3 best Easter eggs from Stronger Together. 3 great shout-outs of 3 amazing DC creators. All right, guys, in all fairness, now we have to talk about the bad. We don't want to do it, but we have to, because we're trying to set an equal playing ground here, okay? So some of the bad from Stronger Together. Unfortunately, one of the bads is the fights. Supergirl is created by some of the same people who work on Arrow and Flash. I know this is a network show, and so we have a bigger budget, but we also have some different restraints working within those confines. The fights in Arrow are really good. The fights in Supergirl are not so good, unfortunately. And a lot of the super characters, and Supergirl in particular, is a very strong character. She should have really beautiful, elegant fights because she can fly. We can have her going through the air. She's fighting characters of different strengths. There's a lot of room for dynamic choices there. And unfortunately, they're just not being made, or they're not being well executed. I'm hoping this is an early bump in the road that kind of gets smoothed over as we go along. We decide who Kara is as a fighter, what Supergirl wants to do, and it's all just uphill from there. Not a bad place to start, but not my favorite thing about the episode. And the second thing that I didn't really like about Stronger Together kind of has to do with the same thing. It's the special effects. Again, to harp on some of the other stuff the creative team has done, Flash has pretty great effects. I mean, Gorilla Grodd, whoever thought he would look that good? Seriously. And when you see characters who are, again, Kryptonian, super strong, hitting into rebar or giant beams, and it just looks like rubber bending, I don't know, they've got a higher budget. I just think they could do better. I want you to do better, and you can. So I'm gonna chalk this up to being, an early hiccup and hope that we get to some major fights later on. That's where we'll see some more stuff. All right, now is the time where I rate this week's episode. So we have a scale from 1 Kryptonian crystal to a potential 5 Kryptonian crystals. So many crystals that Stronger Together could potentially have. Overall, I am going to have to give Stronger Together 3 Kryptonian crystals. That's right. It wasn't as good as the pilot, I'm sad to say, but the pilot really started with a bang. It's not a stumble, but it just didn't live up to that same level. We do have a lot of really interesting world building, we have some performances stepping up, and a lot of little groundwork set for stuff that could come. So I think this is a solid episode. I don't think it's going to turn out to be one of the best, so I'm going to give it a solid 3 Kryptonian crystals out of a possible 5. Now it is time for my crazy theory of the week, where I tell you what I think will happen in upcoming episodes based on what has happened in the episode that I just watched. And if you will recall, last week my prediction was that James Olsen was going to become Oracle. I did say there was going to be an accident that would help that thing kind of happen, but I wasn't entirely wrong. In Stronger Together, we do see James collecting information to send Kara as Supergirl out into the world to train and hone who she is as a hero. He's basically filling the part that Felicity Smoke or Oracle will fill in some of her other kind of similar character incarnations. So I was right. I nailed the first one. And this week, we saw Hank Henshaw, played by the amazing David Harewood, wielding a kryptonite knife, something that you've seen all over the DC universe in many different incarnations, even in Smallville, guys, Smallville. So my prediction is that Hank Henshaw has a storage locker full of kryptonite, and that by next episode, we are going to see him wielding a kryptonite gauntlet. Also, if you were paying attention, you saw those little red eyes. I think that's going to be part of his Cyborg Superman costume. Calling it right now, crazy theory of the week, Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, wielding a kryptonite gauntlet. Yeah! Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this crazy theory. If you agree, if you disagree, what you think is going to happen. And if you would like to support Girl on Supergirl and everything else that we do here on Jawiin, you can head over to patreon.com/Jawiin, Jawiin, and donate. Send anything our way. It helps keep the lights on. It helps keep this show running. Helps keep Geek History Lesson running, the podcast I co-host with Jason Inman. Helps keep Red Shirt Diaries running, the show that I star in. It's all about Star Trek. It's pretty great. And it's going to help us develop new content for the new year. I know you want to head over. I know you want to donate. Thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe. Be safe. Make good choices. She carries the show on her back. She's having so much fun. She's a delight to watch. And she looks strong, even though she's a small little girl. And I love that about her.